Oof. Okay. Just get all this stuff here. Okay. Ooh. Makes my nose run for some reason. Wow. So I've never done sanding like this before. I only used sheets on walls when painting every once in a while when I was a kid. So I started pretty rough. I had a problem with the smaller vacuum. I think it's because I took the filter out because the filter got clogged like twice, but I think I just need to figure that out. But I took the filter out and then it was spewing dust everywhere. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's probably because of the filter. But so I had a problem. I started pretty rough. The small guy worked for the saw pretty well. I didn't have any issues there, so we'll just keep using it for that and some of the other stuff. But I got the big guy attached to the sander, which is miles better. And I started without a dust mask or hearing protection at all, and then my watch told me that it was loud. So I'm like, oh yeah, guess I should probably do that. Other than that, the sanding though is pretty good. I think I got better as things went. I wasn't doing very well. I didn't know what I was doing too much. This middle piece here, where I had to fashion a piece to go in, I'm not going to get it flat because it's just 3 different sizes of boards, just all I'm compiling in the center here. But I think that's okay. I think like a lot of this not being perfect is awesome, and I think this is going to be just good enough for what we're doing. I think that the boards are going to have character is awesome. I'm painting it anyway, so we'll get it up on the wall. I think I'm going to give it another pass. Like I just did 80 grit to try to just dig some of the higher points out and then smooth out some of the stuff on the inside, like in the knots and some of the broken pieces. I wanted to just smooth those down so it's not like a sliver heaven when I decide to, like, this guy still needs to be touched up, but I don't want it to be something that catches on my clothes if I walk into the wall or any of that kind of stuff. So I got to do the sides too, but those are easy. And then it's going to be a little shorter than I wanted it to be. I just didn't have enough boards to do it one more section. I needed one more section's worth of boards, and I didn't have it. So this is what we're going to end up with. I probably could makeshift something out of the boards that I have in the corner there, but I think the fact that they're all the same tongue and groove type boards is cool. So we're going to do that. So I'm probably going to get it on the wall, mounted on the wall, and then I'm going to do the 120 grit sanding on it, just because it's going to be a quick pass anyway. And then, just because this clamp isn't doing anything. And so I just want it on the wall, and I want this piece glued in and all of that jazz. And then I'm going to sand it for the final time, and then we'll go shopping and get some paint. We'll prime it, then we'll paint it. And so hopefully throughout the week that this is happening. So as we're waiting for paint to dry, as they say, well, there's other things that we can take care of. Like I really got to start cleaning this place up now because I just spewed dust everywhere. Did not expect that, but the big vacuum really came through on the second pass, or on the second pass. The first pass I struggled with that Stanley guy forever and didn't have a mask or anything like that, so I'm gonna go drink lots of water. And I've got garbage piling up again. It's just so easy for garbage to pile up in here. I'm gonna have to figure out a way I'm not good at cleaning up clutter, and things clutter pretty quick around here. So. That's a weird one. It's not fully cut in. Huh. Never seen that before. All right. Well, I'm gonna put all of everything away still, because I've just been dropping it as I've been going. But it's up. I mean, obviously there's some issues with it, but I think that's kind of was the plan, is to make it look as beat up as possible in some fashion. Not as beat up, but you know what I mean? Pieced together, I guess, is the better answer. It's the whole premise of the channel, right? So, and the shop in general, is see what we can do. So, it's nice. I feel it doesn't look smooth, but it does. I hate touching stuff. But it doesn't look smooth at all, but it really is. It feels a lot smoother than it looks. And that's probably just the nature of how old the wood is and how beat up it was and what it was used for before. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head out and I'm going to try to find some paint. I'm going to primer and some paint, and then try to make this look the way I'd like it to look, which hopefully, if I'm anywhere near good enough, will be true. But I think I'm going to be happy with it regardless. I think getting it up there was more difficult than I anticipated, which seems to be a theme in this shop. Is everything seems a little bit more difficult, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it being a little bit more difficult. So it's always a learning experience. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this. I don't know. It's a board that you would find
like applied walling board. I don't know, I'll show it later. But I think I'm just gonna cover down here with it, just to give it a little bit more free flow. It's just dark wood, it's fine. You'll see. I don't know what the name of it is, but somebody will know. Anyway, so yeah, off to shop. And then we'll probably prime it this afternoon and then paint it tomorrow, but we'll see. See how time works for me. Yep, yep.
All right. Well, I went to pick up some paint and stuff yesterday, and then realized maybe I should grab some wood filler for some of the screw holes. Because as much as I like the look of it just being pieced together and stuff, I think screw holes probably just kind of defeats. It's working in the opposite direction for that. So I bought some wood filler, and it needed about 6 hours to dry, so that kind of killed my day. But I filled all the woods, the screws with the wood filler. I bought this 120 grit sanding block that I'm going to use to just even them out. And then I got this shellac-based primer for the primer. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever done this, so I don't know if this is the correct stuff, but this is one of the only spray primers I could find. And I decided to use spray paint for the whole thing. I got this cool little spray can handle to make it a little easier on myself. And then, so we'll sand all these spots down a little bit. Then I'll put some primer on. The primer says it only takes 15 minutes to dry, but we'll see what that's all about. But I'm going to start cleaning up and stuff here while this is drying. And then we'll figure out how we want to paint this. I have an idea on how I want it to look. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. And so that's how that's going to go. But yeah, so we'll just get to it. I put some cardboard up here to stop from there, and then I put some cardboard down here. And then I made this, well, I didn't make it. I just cut this L shape out so I can do the corners if I need to. So we'll be doing that. So hopefully I don't get anything but this spray painted. I also, speaking of which, hang on, have picked up a couple of these plyboard guys. And the goal for these guys, let's see which one you'll see better. The goal for these guys is to go on either side of this. Up in here, and then one over here. And then I don't know if I'm going to paint them. I don't think I'm going to paint them because I'm going to like the contrast. But I'm going to have to add some 2x4s into the wall and get these straight up and down, just above the outlets. And then this is what we're going to put our shelving and whatnot for the tools. So I'm going to make the hangers for the drills and all of the power tools there, and then the hangers for all of the metalworking tools on that side. And yeah, again, I don't think I'm going to paint them at all. Actually, I think I'm just going to leave them as is because I think it will look good just with the plyboard. I know a lot of people don't think that is the best, but I think it will be fine. I think it'll be just fine. Oh yeah, that's going well. I can still make out the screw holes, but they're not like, hopefully the paint will cover it, but So that's the problem, is that I totally thought that this was going to be a one can kind of thing. But this looks like it might be more than one can worth. Ugh. Anyway, so I might have to run out and get more can, but we'll use this until it's done. And I don't know how good of a coat I have to make it, but for now, it seems fine. I thought it was going to have a wider spray, and so this is this little spray here. Well, I'll have to come back and finish this up. That sucks, but it looks I was very uneven here, and so I'm learning. At least I'm learning. So I went and bought another can, so we're gonna get this going. I don't know if this is a problem or not, but a lot of these darker, like heavier spots on the primer, I don't know if I should try to even that out. Like, will it mess up the paint? I actually have no idea. So I'm going to go over a couple of spots a couple more times, but I don't know if I should like lightly sand it or anything. Maybe I will, I don't know. But we'll finish this up and then let it dry fully and then let it go that way. Okay, so I've let it dry for a bit. I ran out and grabbed some more primer, got it primed, and then I'm trying to tape off just this center strip. I'm going to do a black line down the center. I think I'm going to put more tape on actually. And then I'm going to do a black line down the center, and then we're going to have to wait for that to dry, then tape that off, and then do either side. I'm going to do red and gray, just because of the idea that I have going into this. Hopefully this isn't covering the microphone too much. But yeah. And then I got lettering I want to do, and I haven't figured out how I want to do that yet, but it's all a process. So let's just keep going. Oh no. It was turned. Got some black splatters here. All right. Let's see. So I ran out of time yesterday, And so I had to leave it overnight. And we'll just see how well this went. I mean, it looks okay here, so we'll see how it goes. Well, it's like the Band-Aid, right? Oh, okay. Looks like we got some bleed through the tape. Oh, a lot of it in some places here. And it looks like it's just in places where there's cracks in the board. Again, I don't paint very much, so I don't know. Yeah, there's a big one here. I don't know what to do about that. I can try to tape it off better. See what this side looks like. Oh, some big stuff there. It's definitely not perfect. I guess the surface would have had to have been like perfectly flat to prevent that. I don't know how much you can see it. Oh, you can see it pretty good. Okay. Yeah, it's going to add character for sure. So when I tape off the other side, trying to figure out the best way to stop it from bleeding onto the line. I don't know if there's a best way, but I think I'll be okay with it. I think it doesn't have to be perfect, right? This board literally is going to say good enough. So as long as the message gets across and I'm happy with it, I don't see any issues really, but just hope I don't make any spray paint mistakes where I paint things in the wrong way. But I think we'll do the right side and then the left side. I'm just trying to decide, do I do 2 coats first? Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. So, okay. Well, let's just, let's get to her and figure this out. That's better than I thought. I forgot to open the door, so I'm going to do that. Okay. The smell of the paint dissipates faster than I thought it would. It's obviously going to be some touch-ups here, so we're going to let this dry. I think the can says about 20 minutes before I can apply a second coat. Yeah, 20 minutes to an hour. So we'll give it a little time, then we'll come back and give it another coat, I think. I'm just gonna probably do some cleanup and figure out how I'm gonna do the lettering, but we'll be back. All right. So obviously we got a couple of little wet spots here, but I think it's time for us to see how she did. I'll probably let it finish drying off a little bit before I do the next coat, I think, actually. But let's take a peek. Let's take a gander. Oops. That tape is stuck way up in there. There we go. All right. It looks all right. Start. Oh. So there's obviously going to be some spots where there's just white. That's going to be pretty visible, I think. We're going to have to fix that somehow. Oh, it's... I hate painting so much. I don't know how people ever enjoy painting. But everybody's got their own stuff. I missed here. I'm sure a lot of people don't like the things that I enjoy. But yeah, I'm going over. Oh, I should have done this to begin with. It's way better. There's a fly in here for the first time this year. Being at a horse stable, you have to get used to flies, which I'm still not used to because I just started being around a horse stable as much as I am just in the last year or so. So, all right, well, I messed up down there, but hopefully it's not as, I mean, it's kind of even hard to see the black from the gray here, but it'll show up eventually. All right, so I've made a mistake. So just a quick update. I've made a mistake with my measurements because I didn't think, and this does not bode well for future endeavors if I can't measure things correctly. But I mean, it's a mistake that I'll learn from for sure. And so I think my best solution is to just do something I really didn't want to do. But so this side is actually 35.5 inches to the black line, and this side is 36.5 inches to the black line. I knew what I was doing when I measured it, and when I went to tape it off, I just moved to the right instead of I should have put a piece of 1-inch tape down the center and then taped on either side and removed said tape. I didn't do that. That's what my plan was originally, but something got messed up in the old noggin, so I guess we'll have a 2-inch line in the center. And I hope it doesn't throw off the look that I was going for. But, well, I mean, we'll have to make do. It should be fine. It'll just be a little thicker, that's all. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm taping it off because I was standing back and I was like, why does it look so? And I thought maybe it was the colors playing tricks on my eyes, but it definitely wasn't. This side is definitely shorter. So I'm going to measure and then measure again, and then I'm gonna spray that line a couple more times, and then we'll do the other side. So I don't know if I'll get all that today, but it is what it is. You live, you learn. All right, so as we're waiting for this guy to dry, I'm going to put this down while we talk. I'm running out of time really quick this week. So we're just going to try to get this painting done, and then I'm going to start on some of the lettering. So I have some black wood lettering here that I just picked up. I didn't make this stuff. I'm not that good yet. And I think I'd want a scroll saw, I think, for stuff like this. But I don't plan on buying a scroll saw anytime soon. So anyway, so I got this lettering from Walmart. It was pretty cheap. So put that over there. And what we're going to try to do is I'm going to make a board to hold the lettering and give it more of a three-dimensional image. And I was trying to find, because those are 9-inch letters, and so I was trying to find a 10-inch board for this stuff to go on. I found what looks to be a 10-inch board, but it's really old, and so it needs a lot of love. And I think, here, I'll show you. It's got some screws in it that I'll pull out right away. So obviously this has definitely seen better days. It's another paddock board, but for a different or stall board or whatever it was. This seems to be roughly flat. It's got a couple it cups a little bit, and so I think this is going to give me a good opportunity to use the planer and the jointer for the first time. Maybe both, one or the other for sure. But I'm going to cut this to length, which is 73 inches, which is that. And then we're going to try to clean it up a little bit. There's some staples and some screws and some nails. I just don't know what the best 73 inches of this board will be. It's this side. Okay. This side's dirtier, but this side has a big crack on one side. So we'll be working on that for just a little bit today. And then if I can get this flat. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I probably won't be in the shop. The season starts for the baseball tomorrow, so I want to just chill and watch the baseball game, and maybe I'll come out to the shop for an hour or two and check on things, but I don't think I'm going to do anything fancy. And then Friday, it's just edit this video down and post it. So some of this might wait till next week, but I mean, I got an hour or so now, so might as well get started on it. One of the things I've always had an issue with is assuming I don't have enough time to start something, which is something I'm going to try to combat here as well. Anytime it's like, oh, well, that's going to take a couple hours, but I only have an hour. Like, why not do half of it, right? It's either all or nothing in my brain, and I need to start getting rid of that. Anyway, let's figure out this board, shall we? The board I think I'm just going to go with it. This is a bigger board than I thought it was going to be to go through the planer for the first time ever. I don't know what to do. Do I just give it a shot? Well, that was weird. The vacuum blew the bar, but I mean, first time ever using it. I'm happy. I like it. Made it look pretty. This big guy scares the crap out of me though, so we're gonna go slow and steady, but I'm gonna figure out why this. What I thought would happen. Give me a second. Okay, so just find a different circuit for the vacuum. I think is this the best solution. I didn't know that outlet was on the lights, but it is what it is. Okay, well, we take a gander at this guy now. It's worked out really well. I don't have a light over there to show you, but take my word for it, I guess. Yeah, first time using any kind of tool like this, and obviously there was a couple of issues. Maybe I shouldn't have, like I did do a test piece, so my first piece wasn't a massive behemoth like this guy. One of the things I want to do is find either a roller or something that I can put further later on the bench, so then it can help catch for me. The dust collection works way better, which is awesome. About the ends, they're not as important for this project, so I'll probably just sand them down. But I assume that most people would probably pull out the jointer for that. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with how I've done this particular test. So I'm going to put this guy away, and then I'm going to pull out the sander, do the edges, and then we got to paint this guy. But before we paint this guy, I'm going to touch up that, and then that might be it for the day, depending on where Courtney is for the day as well. It's only 3:30, so I did wake up late though. Time to go back to bed in a couple hours. Yeah, I already said what I was going to do, so let's just do that. These are supposed to be fog-free glasses. I can't see anything. Yeah, pretty stoked. It's an old word for you. Pretty stoked. The things are going okay. Haven't made any major blunders yet. Trying to redo a bigger piece of wood that I anticipated having to do right away. So this guy, there's obviously still some stains, and then the snipe on both sides. I was trying to figure out how to just kind of avoid that. Apparently, it's part of more of the blades in the, like the type of blades you have in your planer is where you get most of the snipe from. Like the 2-blade system or whatever that I have. It's going to give me some snipe, but I mean, if I wasn't using this for what I'm using it for, I'd probably just give it a good rigorous sanding to get rid of it. But I'm not really too worried about it. But this thing is looking mighty fine. Still, like I said, it's still got some stains on it, on the edge, and I didn't want to like just sand for an hour, just for this project. So we're looking okay. This guy is almost ready to get painted. I still want to figure out that adding thickness or depth or whatever to the top and bottom of this board before I do so. I haven't figured out what I'm going to use to do that with just yet. But once I figure that out, then we'll get moving on. So I'm just probably going to tidy this up and probably tinker with this for a little bit. Throw the second coat on there, hopefully get the first coat on this guy. But then that'd probably be it. So I'm just gonna end things for this week here, and then we'll pick up wherever I'm at when we go again. That red side is splotchy as all heck. So we're gonna try to fix that. I don't know if I can, but other than that, thank you, and we'll see you next time.